This is Enough Said Sports.
Hey guys, I hope all is well in your world. It is all well. Here at Enough Said Sports as we come to you with another subscriber's choice here on YouTube. It's going to be the UAB Blazers going up against the Georgia Bulldogs September 11th at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Georgia Bulldogs are favored by 24.5 points, and the over-under is 46. Now, as for UAB, Bill Clark is the head coach in his fifth season. They picked up a victory last week against Jacksonville State. They are 1-0 as a result of that. Quarterback Tyler Johnston III has been at UAB since 2017. 59.3% completion percentage, 9.3 yards per pass attempt, 37 touchdowns to 25 interceptions. Up front, they have 5 seniors. They're very veteran offensive line up front here, all seniors across the board. On defense, they have 1 freshman starting, and that is one of the cornerbacks on that defense. They run a 3-3-5 defense. Now, when I reviewed the film on UAB and Jacksonville State, UAB was very dominant in this game. They pretty much controlled the line of scrimmage, did all the things that they wanted to do. Very, very, very impressive on film up against Jacksonville State. The one thing that I will say, though, is I don't put a lot of stock in these teams when they're playing against inferior opponents such as Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State, no disrespect, no shade to them. They're on a lower level type of a program, on a much lower level than UAB. So it doesn't really shock me or surprise me that they looked as good as they did on film against a team like that. So I kind of discount that a little bit when I'm looking at this team. But all in all, they look pretty good on film. Now, on the other side, you got Kirby Smart back for the Georgia Bulldogs in his 6th season. They are 1-0, beating Clemson 10-3 last week in a defensive struggle. The only touchdown of the game was a pick 6 by this defense. They have quarterback JT Daniels, who was at USC from 2018-2019, transferred to Georgia last season in 2020, and is still the current quarterback, obviously. 62.8% completion percentage, 7.8 yards per attempt, 25 touchdowns to 14 interceptions. Up front, they have 2 seniors, 1 sophomore, and 2 freshmen on this line. And also, their left tackle, Jeremy Slayer, is a projected 3rd-round draft pick. So he's pretty good offensive lineman. Defensively, I don't even need to talk to you about how good they are on defense. You guys saw it against Clemson. They have 5 NFL draft picks on defense, early round draft picks on defense. They probably have 9 total NFL players on their defense currently starting. Very, very, very formidable, unbelievable defense. Really good up front, especially. I believe their nose tackle is going to probably go in the 1st round. Really, really good player. And on film, the thing that I noticed about them is obviously the offensive line struggled a bit against Clemson, trying to move that very tough Clemson front and run the ball against them. They really struggled. JT Daniels struggled and didn't really look that great either offensively. Now, what I will say to you about this Georgia team, I think there's a little bit of Roy Jones Jr. syndrome. And for those of you who are boxing fans out there, you'll understand what I mean. Roy Jones Jr. in the late 90s and early 2000s was so dominant in the boxing game that he made everyone that he was going up against look like they were not very good. Don't underestimate how good this Clemson Tigers team was that they just beat. They are unbelievably good. Very, very good on defense. Very, very good on offense. They just made them look like they weren't very good, just like Roy Jones Jr. did to his opponents in the 90s and early 2000s. So with all that being said, guys, here's what I got. I got Georgia in this one, minus 24.5. I believe this game should be about a 30-point spread in this one. I think that the game will stay under 46 total points as well. So I like that. And the main reason I'm going this way is this. I just don't see any way in the world offensively, UAB is going to be able to move the football whatsoever against this Georgia defense. It is going to be very, very hard to move the football. And the total does scare me a little bit with the 46 points because Georgia may very well score that much. But being that they got the freshmen up front like they do on the offensive line, I think the UAB Blazers will be able to slow them down enough to keep them under 46. But I don't think UAB is going to score a point in this game. I think this is going to be a shutout. I think Georgia's going to cover this easily, something like 35-0 or 38-0, somewhere in that neighborhood, I believe, is what you're going to see. So I like Georgia minus 24.5, and I like it going under 46 total points. With all that being said, guys, thank you. As always, this is the subscriber's choice of the week. Guys, please let me know for next week. Next week's college games, next week's NFL games. There's a game that you guys want to see, and I haven't done it on Patreon. I will take a look at it, and I will select one of those games for you guys. So with all that being said, thank you. Really appreciate it, and we're going to keep on keeping on and keep on getting you paid while you watch sports. You have a great and wonderful evening, and I will talk to you again really, really soon. Take care, guys.